Hey, what's going on? Peter Amato here from Y Eagles Y, and we're going to do something a little different today, and I'm excited about it. We're going to have an interview with the greatest hip hop DJ of all time, DJ Jazzy Jeff. DJ Jazzy Jeff will be performing at Rivers Philadelphia Casino on March 5th at 8 p.m. It's a free concert, so anybody that wants to go, if you're not doing anything Saturday night, you get to check out one of the greatest musicians of all time for free and hang out at the Rivers Philadelphia Casino. I've always been a huge fan of DJ Jazzy Jeff, and we had the opportunity to sit down and talk with him before his performance at Rivers. So here it is. Enjoy. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's an honor. It's an honor. I'm a big fan.
Listen. All I had to see is the Phillies and the Eagles and all the rest of that stuff, and we good.
All right. Yeah, for sure, man. I'm excited to have you. I know you're probably busy this week because you got the show on Saturday. Should be a pretty fun show. Rivers Casino. You're putting on a free show.
Yeah.
That's on March 5th. That's this Saturday at 8 p.m. Have you performed at Rivers before or any other casinos in Philly?
No, I sure haven't. So this is gonna be a first for me, but I'm excited. In Delaware, so I'm right
in Delaware. Oh, so you're right up the street. I was gonna say, do you make your way back to Philly often? It's like a homecoming, but you're right there.
No, I'm here.
Yeah. You still have a lot of friends, family in the area.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I still go to Philly, do my shopping, and go see my friends, and my family's still there. So Philly is still home. You know, I like to tell people that Philly, Jersey, and Delaware are all considered Philly.
Yeah. Got any plans while you're in the area? You're gonna hit up Sixers game tonight? Big Sixers game tonight.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. So this is bad. I am so much of a Sixers fan. I can't go to the games. I'm too much of a, this sounds weird, but I'm too much of a fan to go to the games. I need to be in my living room screaming and yelling at the top of my lungs because I think I would be embarrassed for people to see me react that way at the game.
No, I totally get you. I'm not the kind of person that likes to go out to bars and watch the games because I don't want this guy talking, talking. I'm just like zoned in on the game, man. I want to yell and I want to scream and sound and act like an idiot without everybody like, yo, chill out.
Thank you. There you go. So listen, I'm gonna have it on like 4 TVs in my house and go from room to room and scream at the top of my lungs tonight.
Yeah, with the James Harden experiment, man, that looks like it's gonna be working out quite well. I mean, that they meshed pretty quickly, a lot quicker than I thought they were going to.
Well, not me. I remember Daryl Morey being the GM in Houston and watching some of the things that he did, and I was like, he knows what he's doing. So as much as he's been talking about getting James Harden, I felt like he knew something we didn't.
Yeah.
And everybody, like, it's funny, everybody was saying that we gave up a lot. And after those first 2 games, I was kind of like, I really don't think we did.
No, you're not hearing that anymore. You're not hearing the people coming out, oh, we need Drummond. We need you're not hearing those guys anymore talking about that we gave up a lot. I mean, we gave up a lot, but it was worth it. I mean,
yes.
We have Embiid. We have arguably the best big man that we've ever seen in this. I mean, the guy is unbelievable in his prime. I mean, he's a big man. They only last for so long, so we got to use these years. And if we can pair him up with one of the greatest point guards of all time, why not? I mean,
I'm with you. I'm excited.
And you can tell when James Harden came back and he was doing an interview and he said he wanted to be in Philly from the beginning because he has such a good relationship with Morey. And so you can tell, man, he's just like a totally different guy, man. He looked beat down when he was in Brooklyn. He really did. That's why a lot of people had like their doubts of like, is he going to be like the James Harden in Houston or is he going to be the James Harden in Brooklyn? So
listen, I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic. So I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, some exciting basketball. When you're here in Rivers, or one of my buddies asked, are you going to perform the Peter Piper routine?
Now Peter Piper, pick peppers, but run rock, Humpty Dumpty fell down. Now little Bo Peep Cole lost her sheep, and Rip Van Winkle fell a hell of sleep. One, two, three,
Run DMC.
But you know what's funny is it all depends on what type of crowd and audience you have. I don't like fitting a round peg in a square hole. And if you got people coming in to gamble and everybody want to have a good time, that's not the right place to do it. But if the opportunity presents itself, then that might be different.
There you go. But you started DJing at 10 years old. Is that right? I mean, I've heard that. So what started your love for music, and more specifically, your love for making beats?
I think, well, I got to give a lot of credit to my older brothers because they were the first ones that did not deter me from touching the record player. Like they actually allowed me. They actually showed me how to touch it, how to take the records out the sleeves, how to put it on, and just gave me a love and a care for handling the records. And just me sitting in the room by myself, playing all of these records and exploring these records gave me a really big love for music that it turned into like, I want to now play the records that I like and love for the people around me.
Yeah. And one thing I really like about the music you create is you bring all genres of music. It doesn't matter. I mean, it could be blues, rock, you got hip hop, of course, funk. I mean, you can, it seems like you just like kind of go into a record shop, pull out a record and say, I can do something with this. I mean, if it has the right sounds that you don't see it too much nowadays with the DJs. They kind of focus in on one or two types of music. Why do you think that is? Why do you think they don't kind of, I don't know, branch out like a lot, you and a lot of the first big time DJs really did?
Well, the times are different. You know, the radio is different. You know, the clubs are different. A lot of times, like I don't necessarily fault a lot of the DJs because sometimes you'll go in a club and the club does not want you to go off brand. Like if this is a dance club, they want you to play dance music that, once you start saying that you want to play what you want to play, you're forgetting, who you're playing for. And I think what has really helped me was once the pandemic hit and I started streaming, I realized that I can play any kind of music that I want because I'm not necessarily playing music for people that are on a dance floor. I'm playing music for people that are listening, cooking, cleaning their house, that it allows you to go a lot deeper. And people really, really enjoy that. And it sucks that you can't take that same experience to a club. I mean, one of the biggest sets that I've ever done, I did a yacht rock set. And there were people that were like, I didn't even know what yacht rock was, but I know all of these records. But what I realized is there's no club in the world that I could have performed a yacht rock set in.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have got it. But having your own platform, being able to play the music that you want to play, people are really getting a chance to get a much different experience.
Okay. Is there any record or artist that you feel that you go back to a lot, that you kind of dip into that crate or whatever? I see you have a lot of records back there, but like,
well, I mean, I play so much music. It's really, really hard to narrow it down. I organize my music in a way that at the drop of a hat, I can make a left turn and play something. And sometimes I'm right in the middle of a set and I'm kind of like, you know what? I think I want to play this. And I just grab it and I play it and people respond to it.
The one thing I'm not really into is like kind of like the EDM scene and like the techno stuff. I've never really been into that.
Yeah.
One name that comes to my mind because I know that Steve Aoki, he throws cakes. That's all I know about him. Do you feel like the EDM DJs that they don't represent the real artistry of DJ, or how do you like?
No, I absolutely don't feel that way.
Okay.
What that is, that's just a genre of music that we don't like and we don't know.
Okay.
Like if you go to a Steve Aoki show, it's tens of thousands of people there that enjoy everything that he does. Just because we don't like it, and that's, to me, that's what it was. It's kind of like you pretty much take your pick. I'm not a big country and Western fan, but I'm not going to say country and Western music doesn't deserve to be here or it's not legitimate. It's just not for me.
With the difference of like him performing, like EDM performing, and a lot of hip hop DJs, the hip hop DJs are on, like they're zoned in. They're not moving from that table. A lot of these other guys, they seem like they they walk away from the table a lot, and I guess they have, do they have like pre-mixes? I guess they don't do a lot of
Yep.
stuff like on hand right there. I think that's
Yep.
like my biggest like disconnect with that. I just was like, I don't know. It was just like, is he a DJ or is he like like a front man? But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's-
to each their own though. I get
Yeah,
that. I
it's
totally get that.
exactly. It's definitely different. You know, everybody has their different style and their different take and their different flavor on stuff. So, you know, I appreciate what they do. It
Mhm.
might not be what I do.
That's true. So when you guys did, and one question I always want to ask you is, when you guys did, I think I could beat Mike Tyson. You probably get this question all the time. He was in the prime of his career, man. He was a bad man. Do you have any good stories when working with him?
Oh man, Mike was a friend of mine from the '80s.
Okay.
When Will and I used to go to New York to do a lot of the shows, Mike would come to a lot of the shows. So I knew Mike before he was the champ. So once he became the champ and we decided to do that record, we said, why not reach out to him to see if he would be into it? And he was.
One punch, that's all it took. He hit me in my ribs and my inside shook.
Mike has always been cool. I used to get a little nervous because when Mike liked you, he would throw punches at you. He would never hit you, but having that man throw punches and hold them a few inches away from your face is very nerve-wracking.
You probably felt like air hitting your face.
Yes,
most of the time.
absolutely.
That's hilarious. So everyone in my generation, I mean, we binged on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And your character was such a funny part of that show. I mean, obviously for the comedic reason, but for me, it was because he was fun. Jazz on the show was funny without even knowing he was funny. I think that's what was like, when he would just say stuff and like everybody else would be like laughing and he'd be like, that's just me or something, which is hilarious.
How do you do? I'm Mr. Banks.
You got that right. Man, you loaded! When do we eat here?
We eat here later. You eat here never.
Looks like you eat here often.
So if you could, the similarities between the real Jazz and the Fresh Prince Jazz, is there any similarities that pop up in your mind? Like,
Oh, absolutely. I
That's
mean,
a
we
humor?
both are comedians. I'm just a lot more, I'm trying to find the right words. I'm a lot more intelligent than the TV.
yeah, okay.
Yes, I am absolutely the jokester.
When the Fresh Prince came out, I mean, that was, you guys just won a Grammy. So when that idea came up, I guess Will came to you with it. I'm guessing that's what happened. What did you initially think? I mean, I would think maybe you were like, dude, we just won a Grammy. Like, let's keep rolling with this music thing, or like.
Well, you know what it was? One wasn't to stop the other. It was
Okay.
just, okay, let's do both. I just didn't have any interest in
Okay.
television.
All right.
I was just kind of the one that was like, you know what? I really want to focus on my music. He's always wanted to focus on television. So when it was kind of like, hey, you should come out here and do it with me, the first thing that I thought is I was going to give up my music. And I told him no. And he was like, listen, if you do, they want you to do 3. If you do 1 and you enjoy it, you got 2 to look forward to. And if you do 1 and you don't like it, you only have 2 to do. And I was like, okay. And it ended up being 6 years.
6 years later. So you do feel like it helped propel your music career?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Television is very different. What I would always say is the people that love my music or know my music were your fans. In television, you would have 90-year-old white grandmothers come up to you and say, Jazz. And you're just like, wow, like you didn't know me for I Think I Could Beat Mike Tyson. You knew me from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's awesome. How does it feel when you hear like millions of fans and you have a DJ like A-Track and who basically label you as the greatest DJ of all time? How does that make you feel?
You know what? I don't think about that. Like that, I almost think that I'm probably a little bit nervous to think about that because you don't ever want to get caught up in that. I am still enjoying everything that I'm doing. I am still a big fan of so many people that, you appreciate it. You definitely give thanks when people give you accolades, but that's not where my world revolves around.
And one thing that a lot of people don't know is you're still traveling around the world, right? You're still performing
Well,
for
before
hundreds.
before the pandemic. I don't know about now.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody's traveling much now, but yeah, I mean, you were still performing for hundreds of thousands of fans all around the world.
Yeah.
Is there any show within the last like 5 years that really sticks out in your mind?
You know what? It's been too many. And especially being international, it's too many different places, but all of them you appreciate in different ways. I love, the one thing that I made sure that I did is I have friends all over the world, because I wanted to make sure that when I landed in a place that it felt somewhat like home to me. And if I always could pick up the phone and call someone and say, hey, let's go get a grub. Hey, take me to the record shop, or, I want to go to the mall, and you have friends there, it kind of evens it out and makes it not less hectic about traveling all over the world and being away from your family and friends. So, all of them hold some kind of a special place.
Have you been able to watch the new Bel-Air series? Have you been able?
Yeah. I am one of the co-hosts of the podcast.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't
So I get a chance to watch it, and then myself and my co-host Aida Osman, we talk about it right afterwards.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I started watching. I think I'm about 4 or 5 episodes in. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Jones does a great job with your character. When you first saw him, were you a part of the selection process at all? And
Nope.
No.
But what I did know is I knew that this wasn't going to be the original show.
Yeah.
And I feel like they picked perfect characters for the reboot. Like everybody, whenever you have a character like Carlton, that people are like Carlton, like the first couple of episodes, people like Carlton is a villain. You don't realize, if you feel that way, he's doing an amazing job, because that's not really him.
Yeah, it's just playing a role. Yeah, and it definitely is. It is a different show. I mean, people, if they didn't know it, they know it within the first 5 minutes of the show. But yeah, I mean, they did a great job of taking a '90s comedy and turning it into a present day drama. And I think what they did with the characters they picked and the writing and stuff, I think it's a great show. I mean, so far I'm about halfway through, but I think it's a great. They did a really good job. They didn't go too over the top and try to make it the same. And I feel like a lot of shows might have done that. So I think they did a good job. What's next for DJ Jazzy Jeff? Is there you want to tell our audience where they can see you perform next? I mean, do you have anything you're excited coming up for you?
Well, you know what? Like, I'm really excited. I do a online show on Twitch. I have an app and a website, djjazzyjeff.com, that has a live stream player. I do a lunch break every Wednesday from noon to 1. I do a magnificent house party every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 5. Every once a month, we do a magnificent Friday night that I have guest DJs come on, because one of the things that I realized that the pandemic taught me is, if you wanted to hear a really good DJ, the only place you could hear them was a club until the pandemic. Now you can go on Twitch, and all of these DJs are on there streaming, and you can stream it to your television, to your sound bar, to your phone, to your computer. And you're streaming for 50 to 100,000 people. So it's way more people than you would get in a club, and you can play a wide variety of music. So I am really, really happy and really excited, because that only makes the in real life shows even better, because people are like, yo, I saw the stream, and, and you shouting people out on the stream, and, and there are people from all over the world that are listening. So, this has been a big eye opener for me. So I'm really, really enjoying it. The website is www.djjazzyjeff.com.
Okay.
You can go to the App Store on iPhone or Android and download the DJ Jazzy Jeff app. There's mixes on there. The live streams come up on there. And then it's on Twitch, which is twitch.com/DJ Jazzy Jeff. It's on the DJ Jazzy Jeff YouTube page. And you know, you can pretty much get it anywhere.
Put all the information below so anybody can check out your Twitch and your website, your YouTube page, and any other page you need that you have available. The app as well. Check out that. But yeah, I want to thank you for taking the time out. I know you're busy now. I know you're probably getting pulled in a lot of different directions, especially with the show coming up on Saturday. It's going to be a great show. So anybody that's not doing anything, Saturday night, 8 p.m. at Rivers Casino, DJ Jazzy Jeff will be there performing. We don't know if he's going to perform Peter Piper, but you just have to get there to see.
That's it. I super appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Really, in my heart, think I'm ready to fight Mike Tyson. The record is over. I was doing the record. The record is over.